want you to the days when the nights were young. We could do no wrong. We used to dance to the light of dawn. When our hearts were so strong.
Hi, I'm Bev Sage, and along with Errol Kennedy, we've been doing some sessions for the Andrew Eborn Show about a lot of them about lockdown, about drumming, about all sorts of things. But in this one, it's a bit different. I want to talk to you about the tough side of things and the emotional, the physical and mental health benefits of drumming. You know, it's kind of interesting, especially if you have children during this time. It's been a lot of challenges to do things with them, to educate them. When we were doing the drumathon, we found that some people just said, thank you so much for this drumathon. It's been the best babysitter for the kids. They were just fascinated by the drumming and by the way the patterns emerged and the way they could focus on things. And this is something that, from a personal experience, I wanted to share my story. When Errol and I worked together back in the 80s, which we were talking about, I was with my partner and life partner, Steve Fairney, who was part of the Techno Twins. And together we had family, we had 2 children. And then in 86, we had our son Jake, and 84, our daughter Femi. And by 93, very sadly, he passed from asthma. And so he died, and I was left with 2 young children. And Jake was 6, he used to drum on his dad's knee, and so it was part of his life. And I'm thinking, this is a boy, he's very physical, he needs to drum, he needs to hit things. So for his mental health really, and for his grieving, you know, as a child, there's a lot of things going on, a lot of processing happening. And for him, hitting was a great thing. I mean, some kids love the Suzuki violin, and that's magnificent. It's great for the mind and the brain. But there are kids too who get so much from hitting and drumming and patterning, and there's so much focus that people don't perhaps appreciate that goes into drumming. You know, holding down a pattern, holding down a rhythm is a phenomenal thing. You know, you start off with the simplest things like mummy, daddy, do-do, 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 do-do. And then the other thing I'd say about drumming, and I've watched as I've seen Errol doing the most amazing things on his kit as well. It uses not only the left hand, the right hand, the left foot, the right foot, but it's also centering things through the middle of the brain. And what's wonderful about that is it's using 5 areas of the brain. And this is a really interesting thing for creativity, for left-right brain crossing, which really helps with thinking about things logically and also creatively. And this crossing of the brain is a really fantastic thing. So with my own son, you know, it was the toughest of times. It was really tough, and some of you have been through this year. I know it's been a really tough year. And what was great about drumming, a guy from The Egg, Math, used to come over with, and we set up saucepans, and Jake used to just go around hitting saucepans. But it was the rhythm in the saucepans, and he was only 6, you know. He'd always whistled and drummed through carol services and drummed on his father's knee, but now it was saucepans and things like that. And then gradually he progressed, and we got a kit, and then as he grew a little bit older and he'd just taken to it, he got an electronic kit. So again, you don't have to make a noise through the whole house. You can have these most magnificent electronic kits that a kid can hit and think they're in the symphony theatre, they can think they're in an orchestra, or they can think they're in the heaviest punk band in the world, because the sounds that are on these kits are incredible, and it's all contained here. But they know that they're drumming the rhythms and so on and so forth. So that's why I really can't stress, from my perspective, how much drumming can give health mentally, physically and emotionally, because it's a very physical thing as well, and it all can enhance the world of healing and times out, you know. So it's a fantastic thing. Even if you've just got saucepans at home, you don't have to invest in a great kit, but something to hit and bang. And you know, the amazing thing on the drumathon was not only did we meet the most incredible family of drummers, but we had the privilege of someone like Clem Burke getting in touch. And he was just brilliant, because, I mean, I've loved him as a drummer. He's just sensational. Second Errol, he's my favourite drummer. No, he's amazing. And he's just, you know, the Blondie days, the rock and roll days, he's incredible. But what some of you may not know is that he's been involved with the University of Chichester with ongoing research checking out things like the enhanced health and well-being of drummers, and also enhanced brain structure and function following drumming practice. So they've looked at these kind of things and they're relating them to autism and dementia and all sorts of things that are going on with the mind and with the health of individuals. And this is a really exciting area of research. And my own son Jake, just to give you the backstory from him now, is obviously he started off, he was playing in bands, he was doing all sorts of things, but alongside that he's quite academic and scientific. So he ended up going to UCL, and by the age of 25 he got a PhD in neuroscience and psychology. So as a parent, if you're out there and you've got a really active boy or girl, there's some amazing girl drummers out there, just think about the possibility of getting them to drum, because the health benefits are amazing. I've seen it not only in my son, but my husband.
Why don't you do the thing?